Hi traders, today I decided to show you the best ever strategy in action. Smart Zones, the strategy that I really respect, as it works at any stage of market, providing very huge amount of everyday setups. In this video, we will talk about the zones. I will show you several trades and the results of my students. Subscribe to our channel and we are getting started. As usual, I recommend you to subscribe for CASHBACK Discord server where you can find useful materials. As well, I really recommend you to subscribe for Smart and Skilled Telegram channel where we post zone setups with very high percentage of workout, as well as useful videos and some news. We have been working with the CASHBACK for about several years in close collaboration in the main direction. Popularization of scalping, trading education, and any assistance for people to make their trading effective and profitable. To make your dream come true, become a freelancer with no need for a job. Please write down in the comments your ideas about the next videos. Questions are welcome as well. So what are the zones? Probably you already watched this video. If not, I really recommend you to understand the mechanics. In this video, I clearly explain how do the zones work. The core mechanics. Zones are the areas on the graph that the price always reacts to. Like this, as you see. The zone and the price usually pulls back from it. The reaction is always pullback. It happens because such zones contain enormous volume spot here in this candle. It means that the market has very good memory and the price is sensitive to those spots where huge volumes were registered on history. By the volumes, I imply enormous amount of contracts of certain instruments that were released, sold or purchased here. Here you see the same story. This is the zone with the high volumes registered inside and the reaction of the price. Let's list the main advantages of zones that I'm sure will make you loyal to this strategy. Zones work out in 90% of cases. It's relevant on any stage of market despite of breakout, for example. It implies less emotional pressure and as a sequence there is a lower chance to get a tilt or uncontrollable trading. That is a weak point of many beginners. The nature of zones are quite calm, however, the style of trading zones would be somewhere in the middle between scalping and positional trading. The setups are widespread and you can work out zones every day on any market. And finally, you don't need extremely fast internet and extra low pings as for breakouts. Now let's talk about the main rules of zone selection, what we should start our trading session with. We check the BTC and use, in other words, fundamental background. BTC potential movement should coincide with the direction of your trades, or it should be in a range so we can find both long or short zones in this case. In this case, we see that potential of the BTC is quite shortly, means that the BTC could sink at any moment. That's why we should find the short zones. News. We do not trade during high volatility news. 3 stars news, we go for a cup of tea or coffee for an hour or two. So we don't trade during 3 stars news release. Then we select only those instruments with the daily volumes between 40 to 300 millions using lazy scalp board indicator. I'm sure you already know about this indicator. We get it here, lazy scalp board, like this, and we watch only the first parameter, the daily volume. For zones, it should be from 40 to 300 millions. This parameter is less demanding as well than of breakout trading, where we consider only those instruments with the volume over 200 million. For example, we take RB, USDT and it has 111 million per day. That's enough. Then we select the graphical patterns, order block, buyer-seller zone or market profile and threshold. Let's see it on the example. This is a kind of order block. Here potentially could be a volume. This is a threshold. We mark the zones like that. The zone from where we're waiting for the price to come back and pull back. And finally, buyer or seller zone. Buyer zone in this case, from where the impulse started. Quite long consolidation from where the impulse started. And we see that there was the several workouts from this zone. Really good pullback. So as you see, there are three typical zones from where the price usually pulls back. However, it's just a graphical selection. The most important stage is to select the volumes correctly to sort out the fake zones, where the price reaction will be less probable. Let's see several trades. There was the example of threshold from where the price pulls back really fast. There was a really huge volume, there was a drastic approach of the price, and I opened the trade expecting the really fast pullback. The character of such movement was a scalping one. By that movement I already fixed the half of my position, because we always should fix the half of our position on 0.5%, and the other part we left for luck. Finally, as you see, there was the first reaction. However, on this stage, the power of buyers, you see this as well by watching the tape, where sellers are pushing the price back, and as well you see it by the accumulated delta that is turning to red. On this point I decided to close position and I got $70 from this trade. The example of sellers buyers zone. There was a seller zone, the zone from where the impulse started, and here we see the movement of 0.6%, but the movement was really weak. However, the entry point was very clear. By that moment I removed stop loss into the green zone. However, on my way there was a huge limit order, and I treated it like a resistance, and on this point I decided to close the position. Another quite good example of threshold zone from where I took a pullback. There was a movement of a little bit more than 1%, and the buyers were still active, because we see the flow of market buyers. Unfortunately, I failed to capture the first seconds of this trade. I left only 25% of my working volume. On 0.7 I fixed 75% of my working volume, and now I'm expecting the breakout of this slope to continue the movement. However, I noticed huge fixations. Moreover, several limit orders appeared on the way of the price. The correction started. The buyers were getting weaker and weaker, and I decided to close this position, plus $60. Another example of the zone. The zone is order block zone, from where we open long position. There was a kind of positional trading, and the movement unfortunately was quite weak, but anyway I managed to catch about 0.5%. However, finally there was the impulse. Unfortunately it happened after I fixed the most of my position, and the workout of this zone was really good. Another example of zone workout is STX. I expected the pullback to renew these highs, the previous highs. However, by that time there was the news release, and I decided to close the whole position of the order block zone. The movement was quite good. There was a scalping trade. I managed to load only half of my position inside the zone, but I was fixing this movement along the trade. The impulse was, the pullback was quite drastic, as you see, quite active. The potential of this movement was the middle of this zone, and finally the position was closed by stop loss hit, as you see. There are some workouts of our students, as you see, 6%, almost 1%. Their statistics are really good. My favorite kind of zones, when the price drastically comes to the zone and pulls back fast as well. In 90% of cases, the correctly selected zone works out. We have been working for zone selection and scrutinizing this topic for several years. During this period, we have come to the highly effective methods of zone selection that give us the opportunity to work it out perfectly. In this video, we shared some basic knowledge, however, the details of the strategy is an intellectual property of smart and skilled trading team. If you want to master the strategy, join us. You can do it by direct messaging to founders of community or through visiting our website. All the links you will find in the description. You can use the promo code CASHBACK 2023 to get 15% discount for the Smart and Skilled membership. We work on the weekly basis in Discord, where you have an access to limitless lifetime practical lessons, joint trading sessions, and exclusive materials. Our team strategy is focused on zones trading. We do it together and do it effectively. And of course, working inside our team implies individual approach to each trader, to each student. Unless can distance everything. See you soon. Wish you good luck in your trading.